Hello, everybody. Happy day to everybody. And I hope everybody's day is great. With me this morning, I have this little baby girl right here. And she was dressed in her Christmas outfit and wrapped up in a blanket. And I took the blanket off of her and look at her hair. Her hair is just wild as I mean, it is standing on end. And I guess maybe she had a wild Christmas. We actually had a very good Christmas and a very good New Year. And this precious little one right here was actually a boy. And then I hadn't really bonded. I loved this baby, but I mean, I just hadn't really bonded. So he came to me as a boy, and I thought, well, let's try him as a girl. And so for Christmas pictures, I completely changed the baby's wardrobe, and he is a she, and I absolutely am in love now with this little one. So it worked this time for me. I've done that before in the past, and it really hasn't changed, with my Joseph sculpt. I still, have to force myself to participate with that baby. But anyway, so being that she's a girl now, she needed a girl's name. So I named her Stormy, and I think her hair says it all. Stormy hair. So while I'm dressing Stormy, I thought I would take y'all on a little adventure with me, a journey into my life and the new life that I'm experiencing now. And I thought I would keep doing videos and sharing how my journey is going. So back in May of this last year, I decided I wanted to have the bariatric sleeve done. And it is a weight loss surgery tool, actually, to help you lose weight. You still have to work. It's definitely not easy, but it's harder in other ways. So I went to my doctor, my regular doctor, and told her what I was wanting. And so she referred me to a doctor that I was wanting to go to. A couple women in my town had gone through him, Dr. Smith, in Decatur, Texas. So I called them, and my insurance required me to have so many nutritional visits with their dietitian, and I also had to have so many visits with their, gosh, I don't even know what you would actually call it, but they set up like an exercise program where you do so much exercise a day and, nothing extraneous, but just moving, getting out and moving and doing other, besides just sitting. So I had so many visits of that, and then my surgery was actually set for July. When I finished all my, meetings that I had to attend, like over the phone and give my weight and the nutrition part. I had to change the way I was eating to fit the new lifestyle that I was going to be living after the surgery, so that you are used to it, and even that, it's still hard after the surgery to, maintain that diet. So one of the number one things that I changed in my diet was I completely cut out sodas and carbonated beverages. There was no, nothing. And it was easier. It seems like it was easier in the beginning to cut those out. as time has gone on, I will say to everybody, I still struggle more now than I did in the beginning with, I still want a Diet Dr. Pepper so bad. And I've just, it's every day, or every time I go to Walmart or any kind of store and I walk by the carbonated beverages and I just think, oh my gosh, I really want a Diet Dr. Pepper so bad. So I'm that, and but I haven't had one. But I still struggle with that want, that my brain still wants that. So I cut out all the sodas and I cut out um, the tea, the sweet sugar tea, sweet tea with regular sugar, and went to drinking it with unsweet tea with sweet and low. And I adjusted to that, so I didn't have any kind of drink that had regular sugar in it. It only had, only like sweet and low was in it. So if I had Kool-Aid, it had to have sweet and low. And then something else I always had to, which I wasn't a Kool-Aid drinker much anyway, but like if you got lemonade or strawberry lemonade or something like that, I didn't drink it with regular sugar in it. And then something else, my eating habit was when I get up in the morning, I'm never hungry. So I didn't eat. Well, then by lunchtime, my job is taking care of children. By lunchtime, I'm feeding the children, and it's hard to take time to feed myself. And I wasn't ever really hungry, so I didn't eat then. But then come dinner time, 5 o'clock in the evening, 6 o'clock in the evening, I felt like I was starving. So then I was, really eating large proportions for dinner. And then after dinner, later on, I'd want a snack, so I was eating. That's when everything seemed to kick in for me, was in the evenings, where I'd want food. And so in replacement of not eating in the mornings, I started drinking my protein drinks, because that is something, when you have this surgery, you have to have a lot of protein. And so I started drinking, I was drinking the Equate blueberry from protein drink from Walmart, and I'm not even lying. It tastes like Fruity Pebbles. Like if you had the cereal Fruity Pebbles, the milk afterwards, how it's fruity tasting, that's exactly how. And that's about the only protein drink I can handle. And so, of course, I'm going to have a call come in. So I had I drank, that was basically all. I did try some of the protein Gatorades, and let's see, what else did I try? And I liked the protein Gatorades okay at that point. And then when you eat, you have to focus on eat your protein first. So you have to eat your meat first. And that doesn't, because of this surgery, doesn't mean you go out and you just eat all the bacon you want and stuff like that. They want you to focus on healthy meats. And I'm a chicken eater anyway, so I enjoy chicken, I enjoy fish, but but they want you to focus on your meats, your proteins first. Oh, she looks so pretty. Stormy, you look so pretty, baby. And there she is, everybody, all dressed, listening to Mommy talk. I'm going to take her binky out because I just love her little mouth. So, I am going to just kind of position her where y'all can see her big, big eyes and beautiful little hair, mouth. There we go. Mommy's girl. So, you focus on your meat, and after you eat your meat, then you focus on your vegetables, and after your vegetables, then you can have your carbs. So that's how I had to change my eating. And something I've discovered along the way is that I love pastries, and breads. I really didn't eat like loaf bread as much, but I did eat a lot of, um, the bad stuff, cinnamon rolls or honey buns, cakes, donuts. Oh my gosh, I love donuts. Um, Sausage kolaches. I really like the breads and all of that. And so I had to learn to cut out that stuff. And you can have it in moderation is the thing. But now, I know that now, but know your limits. So I was scheduled to have my sleeve done on July 26th. And the week before you have the surgery, they want you have to go and get a COVID test done because they want to because while you're under, they have to intubate you and they want to make sure that, they don't want to do that if you're getting sick or have been sick with COVID. So I went and got tested, and they called me the next day and said, well, you tested positive. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. The only symptom I had was a runny nose, which I have all the time anyway. It's either stuffy or runny because of where we live. And it's a little country town, lots of cedar trees all around. And people are always burning, when their trash or burning their cedar to clear their land where I live. You got hay everywhere. You've just got just all this stuff to have allergies to. And so, that's the only thing I had. I guess if you're going to get COVID, that's the best way to have it is just with a runny nose. So I feel for other people who've had it. That was actually the second time for me. The first time I just had about 8 hours of feeling really bad. And then the next day, and that was back when it first came around, before people were even going and getting tested for it. We knew that it was coming, but there really wasn't. I don't believe that they had gotten the test yet to test if you had it or not. And so that when I got it, then it hit me 6 o'clock in the evening, and then I had worked that day, felt fine. 6 o'clock hit, and we were out doing stuff, and I told my husband, I said, you've got to take me home because I'm sick. And I ran a low-grade fever, and gosh, this has been, back when it first came around. And I was so cold and shivered and just kept shivering. And I got in bed, covered up, and stayed in bed the rest of the evening. I woke up in the morning, and the fever was gone. The only thing left behind was my muscles were real sore. My muscles were sore like I'd been running, but that was it. I didn't have any other symptoms. I felt fine. So then the second time in July, when I tested positive, I only had a runny nose. And of course, I do know that there are false positives. So that's positive, possible too, that it was just a false. But because of that, I couldn't have my surgery for another month. So I had to wait. Here we are a week before my surgery. I was so excited, and then I get the news that I tested positive, and I had to wait until August to get to have it. And so I had to wait another month. But it all happened, and I had my surgery August the 26th. Um, everything, the surgery, the day before the surgery, they do a scope where the doctor runs, puts you under a light under. Of course, I don't know anything, didn't remember anything. It was the greatest sleep I had. I woke up just wonderful. And but they did a scope, and he goes in, he checks, makes sure there's, that your stomach is fine. Of course, I was already on my, uh, was it my, I was already my week. I had a week of liquid diets. Uh, everything had to be liquid. Uh, did it have to be? No, it didn't have to be clear until the night before my surgery. So Thursday, the day that they did the scope, I could only have clear liquids at that point. And everything was fine from the scope. I did have what they call hiatal hernia. And so when he went in to do the actual sleeve, he did fix that hernia. And everything from the surgery went really well. I woke up, and of course, I am the type of person that does not handle, where they have to blow your tummy up with gas. And I don't handle that gas very well. It always settles on my chest. So the worst part of my surgery coming out and when I was in recovery was that the pressure on my chest was very intense. It felt like a heart attack. Um, and then of course where Dr. Smith fixed my hernia that I had, and it's a little bit, I think, below your, right in your chest area is where that hernia is or was, and it ached right in that area, but the gas was the worst for me. If anybody that may be interested in any kind of surgery like this, if if you've ever had any kind of surgery where they've had to blow your tummy up with gas afterwards, how you are in recovery, I mean, if you don't have any issues with the gas, then you'll probably be just fine. I was fine, but I hurt really bad, and the gas was what I was hurting. My shoulders hurt, and with this surgery, when you get woke up, they pretty much set you up in bed right away. And my husband helped me get dressed, and they want you to walk. So I mean, they have you start walking. You have to walk so much before they'll let you before they let you leave recovery and go into a regular room. You have to and at the place that I went, the Decatur Hospital, they wanted you to walk so many laps around their recovery room before you could be dismissed to a regular room. But unfortunately for me, not unfortunately, I wouldn't say unfortunately for me, all their other rooms were full. So I stayed in recovery and was then just completely dismissed from the hospital, from the recovery room, just because there wasn't enough hospital rooms for me to move to. But so I walked and walked and walked and walked and walked. And to be honest, it hurt it to sit down, and it hurt even more to lay down. So I didn't even want to sit down. And they also make you they have like the little medicine cups that, you get that come with Tylenol, children's Tylenol or ibuprofen. And they have those, and they start filling them up with whatever clear liquid you want to drink. And it can be like, they'll bring you warm, clear broth, or it can be, I'm trying to remember, water. Maybe, was there any Gatorade involved? I can't remember if there was any Gatorade, but it had to be clear. And for the rest of that day, you had to have clear. I think for the next week, I still had to have clear. So my husband and I rented a hotel room, which my insurance paid for. And we, I was dismissed within like, I'm going to say maybe 2 hours after waking up. I got to go to the hospital. Back to the hotel, which was, right next to the hospital. And I basically spent the rest of the day pacing back and forth in the hospital room. They say that's the best way to get rid of the gas is to move, not to sit around. And I moved quite a bit. I moved all night long because it just hurt to sit down. The pressure from the gas just really, really got me. The next day, I was finally able to sleep, a couple of hours. But for me, the first 4 days, it was all the gas. It took a good 7 days to get the gas worked out of my body, and it's not, and I really didn't. It wasn't like you walk and you like pass gas. No, it wasn't anything like that. I don't know how the moving works the gas out, but that's what they told me. Just keep moving. And the ride home from Decatur was quite long and very hard. We had to drive through Dallas, and it's about maybe a 2.5 hour drive. But, it's a relief once you get home to just be able to, you're home, you're in your own bed, your own pillows, surrounded by the ones that love you, and the kids were excited to see me. And so then my recovery process started. And so I was on liquids for, counting the week before my surgery. And because I was diabetic, because of my weight, I was on a liquid diet for 5 weeks. And that part is the hard part. See, I told you during this, it's work. It's hard work. That was hard for me, and my starting out weight back in May was 292. When I had checked into the hospital the day of my surgery, I weighed 270. So I had lost some weight doing the diet changes. I had lost, down to 270. And now I am currently at 217. I think that's about 75 pounds now that I've lost since May, and I am very happy with the way things are going. I'm eating now, and I still have a hard time. Protein is heavy on your tummy, and so you don't eat much at all. Your tummy holds about anywhere from a fourth to half a cup of food. And so you can't drink anything 30 minutes before you eat. You can't drink while you're eating, and you can't drink 30 minutes after you eat. That's a tough one because I've always been, I drink while I eat, and I drink, I've just always been, when I say a big drinker, because if you're diabetic, especially, you drink a lot. You're always thirsty. And so I was, I drank all the time, constantly had a drink with me. But I will proudly say that since my surgery, I have not been on my diabetic medication at all. And as of today, as of about a week ago, I am no longer on blood pressure medication. I was on 2 different types of blood pressure medicines, and I am no longer on those medications at all. We just did my blood work yesterday to see, check my cholesterol levels, and, being that I'm on protein. However, I'm not eating a lot of red meat. I eat, my chicken. I eat turkey. I've been eating a lot of turkey and fish. And then I get my other protein from my protein drinks. Now, I have switched protein drinks. I'm no longer drinking the Equate um, blueberry drink anymore just because I think I wore myself out before my surgery on it. I have now switched to Fairlife milk and the individual ones, and you get 30 grams of protein in each individual Fairlife drink. So I also drink 2 of those a day. And then after this surgery, you have to be on vitamins the rest of your life. You have to take, vitamins every day. And so I'm on a multivitamin. I take biotin. Citracal I take. And I need to get on a calcium pill as well, a vitamin. What else do I take? Oh, I take vitamin D3 daily. And I think I'm going to have to, I'm now experiencing some hair loss, which after surgery, some people do that about the 3rd month after surgery, you will lose, some hair. And so I have lost some hair. Uh, it's not very noticeable as of right now, but it is getting to where it's quite a bit of hair, and I've thought I may have to cut it off to take some weight off of it. I'm not sure. I'm not at the point to where I have to yet, but that is, something to think about. But I know I have much, much more energy. I thought before my surgery, when I was at my heaviest, 292 pounds, that I was going to have hip surgery because my left hip hurt me daily. It hurt to walk. It hurt to do anything. To sleep on it, it was pretty severe pain. I would say on a scale from 1 to 10, it was right at a 7 and an 8. It was pretty severe pain in my left hip, and I have a lot of inflammation from rheumatoid arthritis, and so my hip hurt me so bad. But now that I've lost the weight, my hip only hurts me once a month during my woman's cycle. I have inflammation during that part of the month, and that's the only time it hurts, but it's nothing. The pain is nothing like it was before. So I've noticed a lot of inflammation has gone away, and I just have more energy. And who doesn't feel better when your clothes are baggy on you? I've gone from I was in size 28 in women's. I'm now in a size 21. And I'm very proud to say I can happily cross my legs without any struggle. And it's such a good feeling. And it's the little things you notice that are wonderful, like the seatbelt easily stretches over me and it doesn't hang, doesn't lock on me anymore. It's just really nice to be able to, when you're a plus size woman, sometimes it's hard finding clothes to wear. You want to dress cute too, just like the smaller women, but they don't make them for bigger women, in a lot of stores like Walmart is what I'm speaking of. And I'm now at a point to where I don't have, I can still wear in the plus size women clothes, like the big sweaters, which I love. And, but I'm now able to shop in the smaller women's section, and that is so much wonderful. And clothes are so much cheaper for the smaller they are. The bigger the clothes, the more expensive they are. So it's been really great to see, to just experience all this that I'm going through. And would I do that surgery all over again, going through the pain of the gas? And I want to tell y'all, I had 5 incisions on my belly. And of course, there's, they were just like, maybe like this long, at the longest one anyway. I did not feel those incisions. They were numb for 3 weeks. And by the time 3 weeks came around, they were already scabbed and, just they were kind of at the itchy point then, where they just kind of itched around. But my itching wasn't severe. And if anybody out there is considering this surgery, my advice would be to join on Facebook. You can join the bariatric groups out there before you have surgery and see all the different people, hear all the different comments about different surgeries, and also do your research on your surgeon. Go, like I went to somebody who had done surgery on 2 women that I knew of, and they had successful recoveries and have had, no issues at all. That's definitely something I would suggest. Do your research on your surgeon, because that's going to make a world of difference. And it's been great so far for me and my family. I'm able to do things with my children now. So I just thought that I would weekly maybe do a video and let y'all know how, the progress that I've made as I go along. But I thank you all for listening to me. And I know this video is already 31 minutes, fixing to be 32 minutes in. But I just thank you all for sticking with me. And until the next video, God bless everybody. Bye-bye.